Once again, this Toronto Raptors team, very quietly, has been building something special. Under the guidance of Masai Ujiri, who has proven he's one of the best executives in the NBA. He's had a solid draft. We'll talk about that later on. I love the Jacoby Walter pick at 19 though, but they got a really nice young core, three really good young pieces, and they also added in a couple of ex-lottery guys, but they got RJ, Emanuel Quickley, and Scotty Barnes. RJ at 24 years old, Scotty Barnes at 23 years old, and then Quickley is the oldest at a young 25 years old. So they got a nice core here, and then they add in these three rookies, led by, of course, Jacoby Walter, who averaged 14.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1 steal in his freshman year at Baylor. Pretty good season for him, honestly. 38% from the field and 34% from 3 on 6 attempts. Not quite so good. That's a little suspect, but I mean, he was a very high volume shooter straight out of high school, and with the line moving back, you kind of expect that. He's a pretty good shooter off the move, just overall, just a really good shooter. He is a volume shooter, that's for sure, but he can score in a lot of different ways, can really get to the line, and he stands at 6'5" with a +5, 6'10" wingspan, which is very nice to have, and that's a theme you will see among these Raptors bigs and really throughout the NBA, or throughout the entire Raptors roster as well as the entire NBA, is that they all have very much plus wingspans except for a couple of guards. Now watch this play right here. He's going to read PJ Hall coming off the screen. PJ Hall never really gets above the free throw line, and he just knocks it down. Jack Clark a little tardy on the delivery, and then this time he is going to refuse the ball screen, get back to his right hand, and get the and one to bring Baylor back within 2. This time PJ Hall jumps too high, over stunts, and then Walter just crosses over and gets to the rack. Now the other guy here, Jonathan Mobo, he's an interesting piece. They got him with the first pick of the second round. He stands 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan, and people are kind of comparing him to a Bam Adebayo type defender and offensive guy. Bam's only 6'9", and yet he can still pretty much dominate the league defensively. Mobo, pretty much 6'8", a little bit shorter, but that 7'2" wingspan helps him. He averaged 14 and 11 in college, but the big question is he shot 0 3-point attempts. Interesting. He is a pretty good passer. Watch this right here. The big goes up with the other guard for San Francisco, and that's just a really nice backdoor cut because the guard is looking the other way for what probably should have been an and one. Now Mobo just coming off the screen for the lob right there. He is an elite athlete, obviously. He's got springs in his legs, and then he can make plays from about the free throw line area. That is tough right there. Too big, too fast, too strong, too good for the West Coast Conference. Catching lobs. The question is, what position does he play? And I'm not entirely sure. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, but I think he's too small to be a center, and he can't shoot well enough to be a 4. They also grabbed Jamal Shead, who is an absolute dog on the defensive side of the ball, with the 45th pick. Now, I think Grady Dick is a guy that is going to really help this Raptors team out a lot this year. Coming off of a season where he averaged 8.5 points per game, 2.2 rebounds, 1.1 assists in 22 minutes a game last year. Pretty solid rookie season. I mean, nothing spectacular. He only shot 43% from the field, 37% from 3 on 4.5 attempts, predominantly a 3-point shooter, so that's why that field goal percentage was dragged down a little bit. But after the trades, he averaged 11.5 points, 3 rebounds, and shot 45% from the field and 39% from 3. The trades obviously being the moves that the Raptors made at the deadline to move on from Siakam and OG Anunoby, and Grady Dick got a much higher role in this offense. Now, with that being said, if you've made it this far into the video, make sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if that is you, go ahead and change that right now. Also, we're trying to hit about 200 likes on today's video, so if you could help us out with that, it'd be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look here at the big 3 going forward: RJ, Scotty, and Immanuel Quickley. We'll start with RJ, who led them in scoring last year with 22 points a game, 6.4 rebounds, 4.1 assists in 32 games played. Of course, coming over from the Knicks at the deadline in the OG trade. That was honestly a pretty good trade for the Raptors. They didn't get a lot of picks, but they got some proven talent. RJ shot 55% from the field and 39% from 3 last year in Toronto. Back home, and of course he is elite in transition. The Warriors don't even guard this too poorly. They got 3 guys back, 3-on-1, and RJ is just going to do a nice little sidestep. He decelerates very well and gets that layup over the outstretched arms of Trayce Jackson-Davis. 39% from 3, which is a career high, something you can build upon next year for RJ. yes, the stroke is a little bit suspect still, but I think, I mean, hey, at this point in his career, you may as well just stick with it. If he's shooting 39% from three, that is more than good enough. 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan, so obviously he fits the modern wing, the ideal size. And hey, if he's knocking down jumpers like that, it's going to be tough to stop him in the future. They also have Emanuel Quickley, who came over from the Knicks, where he was having a heck of a year. And then this year for the Raptors, in 33 games, he averaged about 18.6 points per game, 6.8 assists, and 4.8 rebounds a night. Of course, the king of the floaters, or excuse me, he played 38 games. Shot 42% from the field, 40% from three, which 40% from three is great, 42% from the field, not quite so much. Would love to see that at about 45. 45-40, though, those are great splits for a guy like Quickley, and I love the pace that he plays at. Watch him just wait for this play to develop. All the Grizzlies are sprinting back to the paint, and there's just a total miscommunication, but instead of forcing it, he's just going to let it, play out. Santi Aldama does not communicate with Desmond Bane, and he gets a wide-open three. And then right here, you can't go under a screen on a guy like Emanuel Quickley. He will make you pay. Like I said, the 42% from the field is concerning, especially when he is so good at that floater shot. We'll see what happens, but I like Quickley going forward. I think he is definitely a piece, and he got the money to back that up from Toronto. And then you also have Scotty Barnes, who averaged 20 points per game, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks a night for the Raptors last year on 48% shooting from the field. He was up to about 38% from three at one point last year, which was huge, but he ended up only shooting 34% from three. Not great. 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan. He's a monster. A +8 wingspan. That's alien type stuff. That's Victor Wembanyama type stuff right there. And hey, he's got all the tools on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I think he still needs to be developed a little bit more, especially this mid-range. If he's knocking this down with confidence, that is a scary sight for teams playing Toronto. And then watch him push the break right here. Watch him find Gary Trent Jr. on the wing. He's got Wemby on him. He makes Sohan commit, and he's just going to dish it out to Gary Trent Jr. for the wide-open three ball over Sohan. Not a bad shot. Now, I am still a believer on OG Anunoby. People in the comment section were saying, go ahead, give up on him. He's not going to be anything. But I'm still a believer. I'm still an OJ believer. 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. I think he can play on any team with that height weight. And I think he can contribute. He only averaged 6.7 points and 3.3 rebounds in 25 minutes. His jump shot has just completely gone south. I don't know what is going on with it, but he shot 22% from three. I don't know if it's a confidence issue, but I mean, he has good mechanics. Like, watch this. It's got to be a confidence issue. He shot so well at Kansas. A little bit flat, but overall, I mean, great mechanics on that jumper. Gets to the reverse here. I am an Ochai believer. Once again, Valanciunas not even considering guarding him. And it's such a slow developing shot. That's why I think it has something to do with confidence. He's overthinking it when he shoots. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but Ochai, I'm still an Ochai believer. I still think he can be an impact player for an NBA team. See, that was quicker, and it looked good. But yeah, Masai Ujiri done a great job. We didn't even get to talk about these other two guys, with Jamal Shead and Davion Mitchell. They're pretty much the same guy, elite on-ball defenders. But with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button, as it'll be greatly appreciated and really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.